an enormously experienced fighter. He's 38 years old now, member of the Armed Forces, boxing out of Nairobi. Went to the Beijing Olympics in 2008, and then the Tokyo Olympics 13 years later. Has been to 3 Commonwealth Games, 2010, 2014, 2018, and 1 World Championships before this, back in 2009 in Milan. So he is much travelled. Brother was a boxer as well, actually, OKOTH. That's Alexy de la Cruz of Dominican Republic, who's making his way to the blue corner. So here we go, OKOTH of Kenya in the red, de la Cruz of Dominican Republic in the blue. Southpaw de la Cruz. OKOTH reaching for that right hand. De la Cruz trying to counter him with the left. And it's going to be OKOTH who will be on the front foot. More often than not here, you would say. He's got that wide kind of split stance, de la Cruz, when he sets himself to punch. He's not afraid to back up to the ropes a little bit, set himself and wait for his opponent to come in, try and tempt him in. Rates his hand speed, I think. We'll feel if he can get OKOTH to lead off, then he'll be able to get the better of the exchanges. Good feet there, though, from de la Cruz. Left to the body from de la Cruz was a good shot. It's the final minute of round 1. As I say, OKOTH has been trying to bring the pressure here to de la Cruz's door, but de la Cruz has been able to deal with it. Hasn't landed an enormous amount, but what has got through has mainly been from him. Left to the body for the most part is what scored for him. OKOTH has reached for that right to the body himself, but I don't think it's very often got there. That's a good example there. It might just about have reached the target, but if it has, then it hasn't done so very often. Into the final few seconds of round 1. Just flicking that jab up from the waist there, de la Cruz. Goes down with the left to the body. Kind of distracts with that jab, waving that jab up top, and then just goes down underneath it with the left into the pit of the stomach.
decision is the boxer out of the red corner, Tsutsumi Hayato, representing Japan.
Well, the scores from that first round were all 10-9. 4 scores of 10-9 in favour of De La Cruz. I think there's a 10-8 in there from the USA as well. They didn't come up on the screen in between rounds, but just looking away to my left at one of the big screens which displays the scores to the crowd, that's what it looked like. It was definitely De La Cruz's round. OKOTH is just trying to move those feet a little bit quicker. Chopping down with the left hand there, De La Cruz, and followed it with the right. The fact that OKOTH is coming forward in a more aggressive fashion may well suit De La Cruz here.
Ladies and gentlemen, we again bring your attention to the ring A and present to you the bout number 126.
Good left hand there from De La Cruz. He does tend to lean a bit forward, OKOTH. The weight is quite heavily on the front foot. So if De La Cruz can, I was going to say tempt him forward, he doesn't really need to tempt him forward. OKOTH is going to come forward, but then just give himself that touch of room. He can catch him on the way in to the head as well as to the body. He concentrated on the body in that first round. Midway through the round, through the second round, and again he goes down to the body. It's just a profitable punch for him. Almost every time he throws it, he lands it, so there's no need to stop doing it. A punch to the body is every bit as good as a punch to the head. It's all about hitting the target area.
And now, please welcome the boxer fighting out of the blue corner, representing North Macedonia, Yasin Lama.
It's difficult for OKOTH because De La Cruz is keeping him turning, keeping him moving most of the time, so he doesn't really have a chance to set himself all that much. Nice jab there from De La Cruz, and then just saunters off to his right-hand side across the ropes. Into the final 10 seconds, and the second round has been pretty similar to the first. OKOTH has given a little bit more gas in the second round, but De La Cruz has still managed to stay away from him pretty comfortably and picked his punches nicely enough. 10 lines across the board again there for De La Cruz, and there was a 10-8 from USA in that first round, so he's all but there. Alexy De La Cruz. It's very difficult to see Nicholas OKOTH tracking him down and knocking him out in this final round, which is pretty much what he would need to do, or at least return a whole series of 10-8s. So it's the third and final round here. Nicholas OKOTH, the veteran, I might describe him as. Hopefully he wouldn't take too much offence at that. He's 38, so his days as an elite level international are nearly at an end. 19 to 40 are the age parameters between which you are permitted to box. The top international level. He's had a great career. Like I said, he's been to 3 Commonwealth Games, he's been to 2 Olympic Games, 13 years apart. He's been to now 2 World Championships, 12 years apart. African Military Championships as well. Picked up a bronze there in 2015 and a gold medal at the African Championships in 2017 in Brazzaville, Congo. That's the highlight of what I say has been an impressive career. Great longevity, that's always a sign of a very dedicated athlete, that you manage to stay at this kind of level for that long. You really have to live it. It's like a religion, boxing. It's not a job, it's not a 9 to 5 with evenings and weekends off. That's not what it is at all. It's 24/7. You have to dedicate yourself to it completely if you want to achieve anything, particularly if you want to stay in it for as long as he has. And all the way through here, you can see him just gathering those feet, just trying to cut off the ring on Alexy de la Cruz, trying to get his punches away. But he's been up against a man who's just been a little bit too slippery, a little bit too sharp. Good left hand there from OKOTH, got through though into the final 30 seconds. Good upper body movement there from de la Cruz. So there goes the final bell. Just resting his gloves on the top rope there, OKOTH. He put everything into that, absolutely everything into it, but he knows it's not going to go his way. And maybe this will be the final time we'll see him at the World Championships. Maybe not. He'll still be within the age bracket, just about, I think, for Tashkent in Uzbekistan in a couple of years' time. That's going to be some World Championships hosted by one of the powerhouse nations of AIBA boxing. So he goes through Alexy de la Cruz. And he'll be in with Murat Yildirim of Germany in the next round.